Well, the first thing that we can do is we can pray. And I know that sounds like a Sunday school answer, and I know that sounds like a cop-out answer, but it is probably the most important element of all this. We should approach life like this. None of us have any right to say anything. And I mean even what you say first thing in the morning. I tried to come up with something crafty, but whatever you say in the morning. Feed the dogs. I don't know, whatever that is. We don't even have a right to say anything until we first prayed, before our feet have hit the ground. Here's the reason why. The primary purpose of prayer is not to give something to God that we think He needs. Like He's a needy deity. Oh, I just hope Josh will spend time with me today. He doesn't need that. He enjoys it. He wants it, but He doesn't need it. The primary purpose of prayer is aligning our heart with the Father. It's actually a correction of us. Now, there are two components of this. If I may use a nerdy illustration, because I am a little nerdy sometimes, let me use this. Most of the time when people pray, they look at it as more of an upload. They look at it as more as the primary purpose of prayer is that I say, I'm just going to upload all the things to God. Nothing wrong with that. Scripture actually advocates that we do that. There is a burden lifting that takes place whenever we come to the Lord with our troubled hearts and we express to Him what's going on in our soul. There's an advantage to this. Now, we're not telling God anything that He doesn't already know. He knows all things. He knows the heart of man. He already knows where we're actually going to pray. He's known since the beginning of time. You're not going to say anything that's going to surprise Him. But it's more for you in the sense that it's lifting a burden and showing the Lord that you trust Him with the inward parts of yourself. But there's another part of prayer that we often overlook, and that is the download. Don't hyper-spiritualize this. I'm not saying that this means God's going to audibly speak to you or something like that every time you pray. Oftentimes, that's not going to be the case. The Lord's going to primarily speak to you through His Word. But in our prayer time, and when we're talking about Him, what is downloading is the Father's heart, His will. That's why Jesus said, pray then like this, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. The idea is that I need to come under the submission of God's will and heart. Even Jesus did this for us as an example. He got away from the crowds. He got away from the chaos. He got away from everything that was going on. And He got alone with the Father. Now, why would God in the flesh need to get alone with the Father? He's setting an example for us, but more than anything, He wanted to make sure He was following the Father's will perfectly. And that's only something that's attainable if you first stop and you pray. So none of us have the right to speak or enter into any conversations unless we first prayed. The average person says 18,000 words a day. That's a 54-page book. And many of us put our feet on the floor and we head out to spew out those 18,000 words without giving one thought to, is my words honoring God today or not? I'll ask for permission. I'll ask for forgiveness, and I won't ask for God's direction on the front end. That's not how we do it. So we need to pray that somehow by the grace of God, I can make it through the day without speaking curses, without bringing destruction upon other people. We need to pray that when we're provoked, we will stop, think, and respond rather than react.